Forsaken is changing up how we play Destiny in a very big way. On top of super changes, mod changes, Masterworks changes, weapon changes, etc., Crucible is practically being overhauled to get ready for a faster time to kill. So everything downhill of that changes as well. Grenades, melees, rifts, weapon perks, etc., they all have to work and accommodate the new time to kill. So let's dive in and see how Bungie plans on changing things in year 2 of D2. Guardians, what is going on, y'all? Sly here, back at it with another Destiny 2 Forsaken stream breakdown for you guys. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the recent Tools of the Trade reveal stream. There is a lot to go over, so I'll start this up quickly. But before I do, I just want to let you guys know that these changes were asked for by the community itself. So when these changes go live and you get insta-melted by team shooting that I think will not be going anywhere anytime soon, then remember that we did ask for this. It's going to be a big change, guys, but give it time and let things settle down and sink in before freaking out. If you hate shotguns and corner campers, then you are going to be in for disappointment. With shotguns and snipers moving out from under the heavy slot, players will start out and spawn in with shotgun and sniper ammo. So you're going to have to start watching corners and sniping lanes 24/7 because Destiny is about to become Camp City. Now, as far as the other weapons, from what I've seen, critical hits are not as high as they used to be in D1, but body shots do about the same for most weapons. So that means our health in total is still lower than that of D1. Back in the day, you had to nail precision shots in order to get those quick kills. While body shots could kill you, they had to be comboed with precision or you were done for. In this new update, even body shots will take you down fairly fast. Destiny 1 had normalized PvP where we all had around 200 health. In Destiny 2, it can vary from 186 all the way up to 205. But to do this, you have to have the absolute max resilience with mods in every armor slot possible while using resilience on your armor to reach 205. In PvP, having anything over 10 resilience is a waste because it will take the same number of shots to kill someone with 14 resilience as it would with 10 just because of the way the weapons work. Now, we're not sure how Forsaken will be changing this or if it will change it at all, but any extra bit of health will go a very long way. So from the looks of it, we're keeping the same health pool as vanilla D2, but all the weapons are becoming stronger. As you see in this clip, the high impact precision hand cannons can take you down with 2 body shots and a critical hit, 90 critical, 50 body. Faster rate of fire hand cannons will require 2 critical shots with 1 body, such as Better Devils, which hits for 70 as a critical, 47 on the body. However, I do believe that pulse rifles might rule the day. Take a look at this aggressive pulse rifle and how it almost kills his opponent with 2 pulls of the trigger, 3 to finally finish him off. But if you are barely hurt, like at all, it's going to be a 2-tap. A rate of fire 390 pulse rifles are similar to like the Marine, Swift Ride, Inaugural Address, etc. It's a medium-low rate of fire, higher impact, 1 step below the highest impact, which has a fire rate of 340. So that begs the question, if the 390 rate of fire pulse rifles leaves a sliver of health with 2 trigger pulls, will the higher impact 340 rate of fire pulse rifles be able to 2-shot opponents? If 2 taps almost kills a Guardian and then leaves them at a sliver, will that extra little bit of impact kill him? I don't know, it might, and I bet it definitely will if you use damage perks like Rampage or Kill Clip, even on the 390s. So it's going to be interesting, and Crucible is going to be extremely fast-paced. But enough about that. Again, this was a test build. All that stuff could change. So for now, let's go over some of the things you might have missed from the combat reveal stream. So when you adjust time to kill in the Crucible, you have to rework just about everything, guys. I mean, grenades, melees, weapon perks, multipliers, damage over time, etc. All of this has to be considered. So with that, melees are now a 2-hit kill instead of a 3. Also, shoulder charge is back to an insta-kill. Going along with that, throwing knives do more damage as well, but grenades are pretty much staying the same. Stickies will not kill you outright, however they will be a bit spicier. As we saw in stream, the throwing hammer will do 101 in damage, so that's a big chunk of your overall health, and I'm assuming that throwing knives will be in the same category, unless they're given a precision multiplier. Also, rifts have been changed as well. Healing is now more aggressive, and the empowering rift will give you a bigger boost in damage than it previously did. And precision damage has been boosted as well, so that is going to be huge, guys. 2 taps will definitely be possible then. The Forsaken patch notes are going to be very, very long, so I feel bad for the Bungie intern who has to write up all that stuff. Anyways, let's go ahead and start at the beginning. So Bungie starts off by checking out the new weapons and weapon slots themselves. You still have kinetic, energy, and heavy. It's just that certain weapons are changing to allow them to become kinetic, to become energy, etc. For instance, the one I always mention is Hawthorne's Field Forged Shotgun. That will be changing over to become kinetic instead of heavy. It's going to lose its element, and of course it will go in the kinetic slot. You will have lots of freedom with your weapons, but its ammo will be your limiting factor. Bungie showed off some new exotics and a few legendaries, including a hand cannon, which might be the new glory weapon for Season 4. All the new exotics that we see here, nothing that we haven't seen from previews, but it's still nice to see it within the inventory. Alright Guardians, so the first big topic Bungie discussed was the new Masterworks system. One thing I kind of missed in Destiny 2 was ranking up your weapons, and in Forsaken, masterworking your gear will now require a lot more stuff and not just masterwork cores. So currently in Destiny 2, Masterworks will give you a +5 to a given stat, or increase your magazine by a certain amount depending on the weapon itself. Well, in Forsaken, mods are increasing and can apply up to +10 to a certain stat. But each time you upgrade it, it's going to cost a little more. By the time it's all said and done, you're going to have to spend 10,000 Glimmer, 27 legendary shards, and 17 masterwork cores in order to fully upgrade one weapon. So how the system works is like this. You start off by engaging the masterwork. Your first upgrade will give you a +1 to a certain stat. If you don't like it being in that stat, then you can re-roll it until you find what you're looking for. Once it's on the stat you want, start upgrading it. It'll go from +1, then 2, then 3, etc, etc. Every time you upgrade it, it will increase the stat by +1 until you are maxed out at +10. When you finally get to the end, you will get your kill tracker. However, each time you level up, you have to pay a little more. Now, I think it'll be worth it. Expensive, but worth it. However, if the Masterwork core drop rate isn't buffed substantially in order to compensate, then you're going to have to be very careful in which weapons you choose to Masterwork. Now, Bungie didn't go over masterworking armor, and we're still not sure about it. I think, personally, Bungie is still ironing out the details themselves, but we'll talk about what we know of armor here in a few. So, masterworks are about to become a lot more powerful, and this is also in addition to weapons having double perks on them instead of just a single perk. And with the new weapon mod system, you're going to be adding a third. Not to mention random rolls and the fact that rangefinder is coming back into the pool of perks, and that includes hand cannons. So weapons will be pretty awesome in Forsaken. Alright compadres, so next up let's take a look at mods in Year 2 of Destiny. So mods in Year 2 of D2 are changing. All of the mods currently in your inventory right now will be dismantled when Forsaken drops on September 4th. Now when they do, it will convert all of them into mod components, which you can then use to buy new ones. So my recommendation is to start farming them. Use that 100,000k Glimmer to buy blue mods, and then convert them into legendaries, and then after that, dismantle it, which will give you mod components. Keep doing that over and over, and once you have your 100k Glimmer back, do it again. Mods are supposed to be a lot more rare in Forsaken, and the best ones will be extremely hard to come by. So if you stock up on mod components now, you can buy all that you need on September 4th. But back on topic, mods in Forsaken will no longer be granting the +5 power, and instead, weapon mods will now be including a third perk to your weapon to further enhance it. According to Bungie, mods will be harder to come by, and the good ones will be rare, like I said. Now, raid mods have already been confirmed, and I'm willing to bet there will be top tier mods that haven't been mentioned or shown so far, and perhaps even exotic mods, but so far, these are all the ones that we know of right now. So we have Backup Mag, increases mag size. Freehand Grip increases accuracy and handling while hip firing. Icarus Grip, improved accuracy while in the air. Targeting Adjuster, basically the new hidden hand. After that, Radar Tuner, helps you regain your radar faster after ADS. Then we have Counterbalance Stock, reduces recoil deviation, which basically means it won't jump left and right as much, and instead will have a more upward motion, hopefully a little less of it as well. And finally, we have a couple of cool ones for PvE, Minor Spec, Major Spec, and Boss Spec. Minor Spec increases damage against rank and file enemies, which basically means dregs, acolytes, etc., the lower tiered mobs. Then Major Spec will do increased damage to majors, which I'm assuming are the orange health bars. And then finally, Boss Spec will do extra damage to yellow bars, which are bosses, ultras, and things like Cabal tanks and other vehicles. So there's a lot of good choices to go for. And once again, I'm assuming that these aren't the only ones available. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if there are exotic-like mods for weapons that are extremely rare drops. There's also going to be raid mods, which I am super excited for. Now, the last thing to note about mods is that they do not delete when sharding your weapon. If, for instance, you have a good mod on your better devils, but then you find another one out in the wild that's even better, you can then shard your first better devils, and it will put your equipped mod back into your inventory, which you can now apply to your even better devils. Again, another good change. Alright guys, and the last thing to talk about within weapons, certain legendaries will now have ornamental slots. As you can see here with the Parcel of Stardust shotgun, there is an ornamental slot attached to it. So ornaments are no longer just for exotics. So far, only Redrix's Claymore had an ornament for it, and I have a feeling activity weapons like the Raid, the Blind Whale, Strike Specific, Crucible, etc., they might have ornaments to spice things up. Okay, so next up on the list, let's talk a little about armor. Now, we didn't get a chance to see armor mods or armor masterworks in detail, but according to Luke Smith, armor mods have been buffed and will further reduce cooldowns. However, one thing we did get to see are that perks will be coming back with Forsaken. So did you miss the old D1 boots that used to give you extra heavy, extra shotgun ammo, stuff like that, grenade cooldown? Well, they are returning, my friends. And on top of that, they come with extra perks that can help out your weapons. Take a look at this helmet, for example. You can see that it's a Titan armor spec'd with mobility. It has an impact mod on it. Then look at the bottom, pulse rifle targeting and sniper rifle reserves. Now, Cosmo gave us a sneak peek at the screen, but it was only there for like a split second. But as you can see, you can change it between mobility and recovery, pulse rifle targeting or shotgun, and then there at the end we have sniper rifle or sword ammo. However, what really intrigues me is the void symbol to the left of the impact mod. It looks to be a Masterworks slot because it has the number 1 on it, but why the void element? Could it be that Year 2 Masterworks will give you a damage reduction for incoming void attacks, or incoming arc, incoming solar? If so, that would be amazing to be able to reduce incoming damage. Also, the impact mod you see there is melee cooldown. Now, in the reveal stream, Cosmo went for a full set of armor with melee cooldown mods on all of them, which brought his throwable hammer back every 30 seconds. So that must mean that they changed the stacking limits on armor mods as well, because it made a huge difference. So that also means throwing knives and smoke bombs could come back every 30 seconds as well. So rejoice, my friends, armor rolls are back, which is something that will make armor choices matter again, and not just for the looks. Add in the possible Masterworks system and new buffed cooldowns, and it is going to be another great addition. So now guys, let's take a look at all of the armor and its perks. Going down the list, the arms have Momentum Transfer, which is an old Destiny 1 perk that gave you back your grenade faster. And then we have Linear Fusion Rifle Scavenger. This probably helps you find heavy more often if you have a Linear Fusion in your heavy slot. For the chest piece, we see Unflinching Gun Aim, and this one is for SMG, so I'm assuming you could find the right roll for any weapon, which is huge for snipers or hand cannons. And then at the end, another ammo perk, this time hand cannon reserves. Moving on to booties, we see a new perk called Perpetuation. No idea what it does, but it probably recharges something. And then at the bottom we have Arrow Scavenger, which I'm assuming lets you pick up arrows you previously fired that are stuck into the walls or laying on the ground. Or perhaps it gives you extra ammo drops when a bow is equipped. And then finally the class item, again another new perk called Recuperation. Then there's also Shotgun Reserves. Now Recuperation could be shield regen. Do you remember back in Destiny 1 when there were perks that would offer you either health regen or shield regen upon picking up an Orb of Light? Well, Recovery is the time it takes for either of them to kick back in. Health gets filled first and then your shield, but it could be that Recuperation starts your shield regen or health regen early upon, something. Again, another thing we'll have to wait for. And then of course at the bottom here we have more ammo reserves in our last slot. Besides the bow, I haven't seen any rockets or pure heavy ammo drop improvements. There was a sniper, but again, we don't know which sniper it was geared towards, the heavy sniper or the primary ones. Hopefully there will be rolls available for heavy weapons, so once again, we're going to have to wait to find out for that as well. Alright, next up, let's take a look at some things I saw within the subclass menu of the new Sunbreaker skill tree. First, it shows that to unlock part of your new Solar Super for the Titan, you have to defeat enemies using the Code of the Devastator, which is the bottom tree or the Sunspot Hammer tree. Also, we briefly get to see a few details of the super as well. First, I noticed that Fusion Grenade no longer says that it deals extra damage when attached to enemies. It simply says that it's a grenade that can attach to enemies. So I guess it does the same damage if you throw it at their feet or if it attaches to them now? I have no idea. Anyways, after that, we have something called Soul Invictus. Solar ability kills restore your health, grenade, and melee ability, leaving a deadly sunspot in their wake. After that, for the new subclass, Roaring Flames. Kills with your solar abilities increase those abilities' damage, stacks up to 3 times. So basically, whatever ability you use to kill with, it will get stronger. This is going to be brutal for your throwing hammer or your grenades, and it can stack up to 3 times, so the more you use your throwing hammer, the more damage it will do. If you have double grenades, your second one is going to be brutal. Now, no idea how long it lasts, and if it will still be there by the time you regen your grenade or your melee ability. If not, you're going to have to use mods or exotics to make the most of it. Next, Tireless Warrior. After hitting an enemy with your throwing hammer, picking up the hammer triggers health regeneration, which is pretty awesome, and it's going to be really good in the Crucible. Now, we didn't get to see any other of the subclasses, but we did get a few tidbits of information concerning the Warlock and the Hunter. We know that the Warlock's Storm Trance received a much needed buff. Taking your entire super to kill one major is not how supers should work. So Storm Trance is going to become stronger in Forsaken, which I am happy to hear. Also, Golden Gun received 2 more seconds of additional time with its super, which isn't a ton, but 2 seconds is a big deal. If only Ackley of Fate Symbiote was around to help out with that. Alright Guardians, so before we go, there are a couple of random things I caught while watching the stream. First up, Boxed Breathing looks like it's going to be receiving a little bit of a nerf. In the reveal stream, it shows Boxed Breathing on a linear fusion rifle. It says that you gain bonus range, accuracy, and precision damage after scoping, and it will reset after every shot or after exiting scoping. So that basically means you now have to pace your shots in order to proc Boxed Breathing's extra damage. So that means Black Spindle or the Whisper will see a bit of a nerf as well once you unlock your Catalyst. Now, it's not going to be a huge change, but you now have to wait a second for Boxed Breathing to pop up before shooting, because it will reset after each shot. When combined with your White Nail perk and you're trying to get precision shots, it's going to be a dance between nailing a crit at the right moment and waiting for Boxed Breathing to proc. It's not that long of a wait, mind you, but I always feel like I'm losing damage when I have to wait to shoot. Whether or not it's better to just forget about Boxed Breathing and shoot as fast as possible to proc White Nail, or wait for Boxed Breathing, well, that's going to be a good topic for another video. And finally, the weapon I hinted about earlier is a legendary hand cannon called Luna's Howl, which is probably connected to Aeus Luna somehow, which means it's going to be a Crucible weapon. Again, more than likely the glory weapon for next season. It has a perk called Magnificent Howl, which sounds like it's only meant for that specific weapon. So methinks it's going to be a weapon in the same league as Redrix's Claymore, which will probably be insane with the new time to kill. But for now, that is about it, Guardians. The final thing to leave you with is that whatever your current elements are on your weapons inside your vault, they will be locked in that element when Forsaken arrives. So make sure everything is changed to your liking the day before. Also be sure start stacking up on Masterwork cores, legendary shards, and mod components. I hope you all are enjoying the summer event and your grind for 400 level armor. The ship is within my sights, guys, but just one more blue armor set to complete and it will be mine. But I am out, guys. As always, thank you for watching, and if you haven't seen the full reveal stream, then check it out on my channel. It's unmonetized, of course, or you can head to Bungie's Twitch channel and it should be archived by now. Take care, y'all, and subscribe for more Destiny 2 Forsaken and Anthem videos. Spank the thumbs up only if you enjoyed yourself. And comment down below if you have any questions and need to point something out that I missed, or if you just want to say what's up. Feel free to follow me on Twitter or Facebook at SlyNation or SlyNation Gaming on the FB. Later, Guardians, and keep those eyes open for more vids coming out soon. But until then, this is your dude Sly, and I'll catch you all next time.